I've been in quarantine in my house for 2 years. 2 years straight.
Why?
Before this COVID shit, before any of that, I've been in my crib, locked down, doing nothing but work, study, work, study, study, work, study, work, and vice versa. Studying politics, studying science, studying academics, studying fucking biology, studying construction, studying how there's times when I get on the internet, bro, on YouTube and stuff, I'll be like, I don't even know what else to study. What the fuck am I gonna study now, Buck? What do you want to study? History? Like, come on. What do you want to go back to the 11? You want to go back to the Constitution? Like, you want to go back to how the Buffalo Soldiers saved everybody at the fort of that war, but nobody gave them credit? The Buffalo Soldiers? If it wasn't for that, your man would have been got his head smoked. I mean, nobody, my head is so filled with so much stuff. The only way for me to get it out is to keep flowing. And that was the reason why I decided to get into politics. Because I was like, politics ain't nothing but a bunch of policies. That's all it is. And in order to get the policies in effect, you need the people. So it's the PPP. It's the people, is the policies. You understand? So in order for you to get the policies in effect, you need the people. And the people is going to get their decision influenced by the politician. The politician influences the policies. So that's why it's like, it's nothing more common sense than that. Than to say, well, why can't we be politicians? Nobody said you couldn't. Your ass just never got into it.
Right.
And let's do it Buckshot way, which I created a term called hip politicians. Hip politicians, like hip hop politicians. Because you start to see more and more people from our culture get into politics. And now it ain't going to be so funny. He, ha, ha, ha. Kanye West wants to be the president. Ha, never. Great. Really? How do you know that everything he sold you wasn't a sale? How do you know? How do you know him being crazy wasn't him selling you being crazy? Because like I just said earlier, a little while ago, you know that if you don't do it certain ways, record companies, the public, and everybody else will not accept you. They will not accept Buckshot with his positive talk. They want to hear that shit. They don't want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to hear Buck talk about nothing positive. His biggest career or his biggest moments when he was talking about bitches ain't slapping bitches and all this other shit. On Enter the Stage, his biggest moments when he was talking about, just all types of shit, man.
Well,
that was like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, that ties into something I was going to ask you with I remember the record, The Points, that I always liked with the Black Panther song. So why do you think that didn't do better or have more attention?
That was the first time I met Xzibit. There were more rappers in that session, in that big giant session, than ever in life. There was Busta Rhymes smoking weed in the car going in and out. There was Biggie Smalls in there. There was Bone Thugs. We were all in one room, one big giant room, hanging and chilling. But we was talking positive shit. Okay? So that's why it didn't blow up. Strictly because we wasn't talking nothing negative. People like to see a fight. They don't like to see people shake hands. Shaking hands takes 2 seconds. A fight might take an hour. That's entertainment. It's just the way things are, bro. There are more planets out there than stars. You know what I'm saying? Now, not everybody's a star, meaning not everybody can just shine light, and then other people called planets just circle around that little light. Well, let me get a little bit light. I just need a little bit. And then you get a little bit light. Like, okay, I'll be back tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? You just taking from this one star. And all it takes is 90 planets to keep taking from that star, and that star will eventually implode and die out. Because all they do is give. But nobody ever gets. That's just how things are.
Yeah,
You know,
we definitely need a better balance. And as we're seeing with politics, with climate change, and all these other things, that we are destroying the planet, you know, and that's where we need to change.
I put out a book, or the book is coming out real soon, and I'm gonna keep doing them. There's a series of books that I got coming out, and they're motivational series. Real talk, and them shits is no joke. They're no joke because some of them are very, 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 very deep. Some of them are so deep that you can't even comprehend it. If we're going through all these climate changes and, oh God, the planet, the green, oh,
Well,
like,
I misspoke. The planet's going to be fine. We're not going to be okay.
there you go. Well, we better hope the planet is going to be fine, because what I'm about to tell you is one of the reasons why we got so much problems along with the climate change.
All right.
Because how you going to have climate change, Earth naturally spinning, and you got a bunch of satellites and a mega shit and space station and all those stuff around the Earth? Hello? Like, you telling me you're trying to get rid of the little smoke that comes out of these little buffy things in the air, but you got more satellites, space junk. Nobody even talk about space junk. What happens to the satellites when they get old? They just rotate around the Earth. What happens to junk that falls from the rockets? It rotates around the Earth.
Yeah.
Like when they drop, what the fuck you think? They got a bathroom in space? The hell you think? You think the universe they just dump it out in the blackness? When they got a problem with certain things and all that, they throw it back down to the Earth. Right. So they sitting there lying or telling you all this climate change. Of course the climate's changing. You just ruined everything, motherfucker. We never been in space. We never been up that high. Of course the climate's going to change. You're going up to the climate. Right. What are you talking about? We got more capabilities of communicating and doing things nowadays than we ever had. It's just the way it is, bro. It's like you just said. Well, we won't be here. You can't change history. We won't be here. There were so many different races and cultures that was here before us, looking like ruins. You go to the Mayans, you go to Aztecs, you go to Angkor, you go to Egypt, you go to all these places, and they look like a fucking ghost town. Dusty, rocky buildings, markets, stores. You like, where the hell these people go?
Right.
Where did all these people go? And why isn't there one person going, well, I'm still here. I'm a part of the original Makawak family. Don't worry, it's just one of us. But here's how it used to go. There's nobody left. You understand? And we start our culture, we start another species all over. How did it happen? Well, it happened because the ones that was here adapted to evolution. People joke all around about Darwin's theory of evolution and how it's bullshit and blah, blah, blah. But in front of you, we are evolving. We are evolving from an old culture to a robot culture right in front of your face.
I remember when, using one example, when Goody Mob was talking about the chips and cell therapy and all that stuff, people were acting like they were crazy or all that ridiculous. And now people are volunteering for it.
I've been telling people about that. Yeah. I've been telling people. But you want to know what's better than that?
What?
Want to know what's better than that?
What's that?
Androids versus humans.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's why I tell my daughter when we go to Target, I tell her, I said, I'm going to stand in the line so we can have the human check us out instead of the machine.
It's a wrap.
I know.
But look, here's what I mean by that. Like, we've already created self-robots that can do things and look like us, so they're not intimidating to us and don't, that's the excuse they're going to use. So it doesn't throw off our culture and it doesn't throw society over. So they'll look so much, but they won't be us. They're going to consider us synthetic biology, synthetic bio beings, and then they're going to consider them what they consider them. I have a whole bunch of names. But when you go to hypothetically do as you just said again, check out, you're going to have to press whether you're a bio being or whether you're not a bio being. Because there's people right now that the way they get Uber and the way they get all these stuff sent to them, they're going to be people that's going to send their own androids out to go buy their stuff for them. And those androids will buy all the food and buy all the stuff and buy everything, and it will check out and it will come right back to you. So that robot will have to press non-synthetic bio form, and it will be a robot. So we don't, you understand? So at some point in time, you know, we've already gotten to Stellar, we've already gotten to human type Stellar 3 or human type 3. Because before we was human type 0. Me and you are hero type 1. Human type 1. Human type 2 are the ones who can go in the sky and blast around in rockets and play around all day because they only have 2. They only 2 capabilities. Human type 3 is interstellar. Those are the ones that can travel around galaxies and tell you about stuff. If you've never been out in the galaxy, how you got so much info?
Good question.
Never gotten there. We don't know what it's like. I mean, you're already trying to colonize the space. You want to fly to Mars just to put a flag up there. Say, it's ours first. We got it. Because you did it with the moon. Now, why would other other cultures and races want to do the same thing? Why they want to fly a rocket? Why they want to fly a spaceship? Because they want to compete? I don't like them. I want to be better. Hell no. It's because they want to race to get their flag up first.
Yeah.
So we can have a galactic federation.
It's wild.
It's that simple. And people talk about climate, motherfucker, they just told you. They're getting out of here. That means they know that it's fact. You think human climate, you think we're going to get twisted in 100 years. Meanwhile, the ones who really up there know it's 10 years. They're like, we got a 10-year gap. Get the fuck out of here now. Or, well, what about the humans? Fuck them. Don't you know in every war there's something called casualty of war? You think I got a heart, a feeling, a love for that casualty of war? That man got his head blown off. Fuck him. That's how they'll think. So, once again, if I put out records, what the fuck that's going to do? If I put out more records, what's it going to do? Like, I am going to put out records. I'll keep putting out records. But I make records for the people who listen. I don't make records for the one. That whole, because you can't even. Times change, music change, beats change, sounds change, attitudes change, morals change. So what you gonna try to do? Bring a 93 moral and everything I just said into 2020, motherfucker? You know how long? What?
Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense.
Does it? So I feel all the people that are like, Buck, man, where you been? Or Buck, man, come on, man, you got to give us back. You got to give us. But when I go there, you don't want to listen to me unless I'm talking about certain shit.
Right.
So it's like, yo, I don't have a problem. You want a bitch to get slapped in the motherfucking mouth? No fucking problem to me. Now, if you consider yourself a bitch, that's the problem. So if I said bitches ain't shit and no female consider herself a bitch, guess what? There wouldn't be no bitch to say she ain't shit.